So let's talk about the art of selling, and this is going into the psychology of sales and marketing, and it's all pretty much the same thing, but you need a great fundamental process of taking the patient through the steps through psychology that works to finalize your selling process, your phone call process, and your eval process. And this is the 7-step plan that works best for me to help me educate and understand the art of selling. Okay, so and I break each one of these steps down into more fundamentals in the education series below here, but let's just go over a general guideline here. You need to establish real rapport. We're not trying to be like a used car salesman. You can't be fake and selly. You establish real, sincere rapport with your patients. You need to identify, is this your ideal patient? It makes sense to identify whether this is the right patient for you or your niche market here instead of here, so you save time and money. You can clearly identify whether this patient is the right patient for you at this step. Step 3 is, people make decisions off of pain, fear, emotion. We're not trying to make them cry, but we need to identify pain and emotion at this step. People will be more incentivized and be willing to understand why they're having their pain, what's the best way to solve their pain, and what they're missing out on because of their pain. So you have to identify pain and emotion. Step 4 is you need to organize a plan and a budget. And I break this down into, okay, so you solve the problem of why they're having their pain. You identify risk factors of why they're having it or why their pain is coming back. So here's a step-by-step plan to resolve your pain and make sure it doesn't come back, and this is how much it's going to cost. Step 5 is this person in charge of deciding whether they can spend $1,800 or $2,000 or $3,000 on their treatment? If that person sitting in front of you is not the decision maker, invite the spouse in and sit down with them and clearly explain it out, and give them the opportunity to ask questions, but you need to be in front of the decision maker in order to complete the sell. And then step 6, you need to provide the solution and teach this patient on selling the outcome to them and understanding why they have their pain, what's the best way to treat it, and this is why you're going to get the long-term solution here. And this is where you sell the outcome. You're not selling physical therapy, you're selling their goals, what they're struggling with, their pain, and you provide the solution for that, and then you have the close. Okay, and what I do with this is, this can be divided into this step here. Okay, I do this by my reputation here, and this is done on the phone, because I clearly on the phone I want to identify whether they're the right patient for me or not, and this is done during the eval. So in this course, The Art of Selling, you'll go through each step and I break it down into detail about what to focus on with each step. And then I highlight it and fine-tune it for the phone call process and for the evaluation process. And there you'll get my blueprint exactly on what's the best way to handle this. So this is the art.